Last week, I posted a video with all 3 Summit cars test results and tunes, and you guys provided me some very good feedback in the comments. First, you said you like this type of weekly video, so I'm going to continue with that, and thank you. And secondly, many of you said that you would like to see the portion of the grand races with each of the respective cars, not necessarily the full grand race. So I've added that to this video as well. This week is the STEREONLINE experience, and the bundle will include the Mazda MX5 racing car along with the Nissan GTR Nismo racing car. Let's go. Alright, so for everyone who didn't catch last week's video, my plan is to showcase the required Summit vehicles, talk about how well they test against the other cars in the class, and then show you my pro settings for each to help you guys get set up for the upcoming Summit. If it's a car that I've already tested, I will go back and retest that car and update my pro settings if necessary. Alright, this week was pretty exciting for those of you who don't own the Crew 2 because the Nissan GTR Nismo will now be buyable straight up in Motorfest. Previously, it was exclusive to the Crew 2, so you had to buy it there and then transfer it over to Motorfest. Now you can just buy it straight up in Motorfest. Alright, but let's start out with the MX5 first. My initial test had this car running a 242 on my test course staying ahead. However, that was before Season 3 launched, and with it, the steering sensitivity sliders came. Since then, I've been playing on a higher steering sensitivity and a greater max lock, so I needed to retest this car, and after I did that, I didn't feel the need to make any changes to the tune, but I did run significantly better times. My best time being a 240.949, which is basically 2 seconds faster than my previous best with this same car. And that's actually fast enough to break this car into the top 20 for the racing category. Now, in driving this car again, I was reminded of how this car actually handles pretty good. In fact, its turning radius is quite tight, even though its lateral G-stat isn't that good. It's a 145, and to be competitive, you really want something around 150, preferably 155 to 1.6. It doesn't feel like it has a poor lateral G though. It actually feels quite nice to drive. I think its real weakness is its lack of acceleration. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about that with the tuning. And speaking of tuning, just in case you missed the original video, I will link that in the description for you, but here is my current tune. Alright, moving on to the GTR Nismo. I literally just tested this car last week, so I didn't feel the need to go back and test it again, but I'll summarize my findings for those of you who didn't catch that video. In general, it feels like the best GTR in racing. It's got a tiny bit of understeer, which really can't be tuned out, but it's so small that most of you won't notice it. Where it will be the most apparent is if you're fighting a Camaro SS or a T50. You'll find yourself using a lot more NOS to try to stay with those guys through the turns. Of course, if you're a better driver, that's a completely different situation. But it does run a very good 239/164, which is good enough to be 5th on my test list. Now, keep in mind this test list does need to be updated quite a bit, and as time goes on, I'll be retesting everything anyway because of that major change in Season 3. Alright, here is the tune in case you missed it last week. And here's a look at each of these cars in grand race scenarios. Enjoy. And that's pretty much it for this video. Go ahead and let me know what you think of this style of video each week. I do want some more feedback, and let me know what you would like to see along with the tunes and the test results and the grand races. If there's anything else you want to see in the video, please put it in the comments. I would love to sort of shape this around something you guys are looking forward to seeing every Tuesday morning. All right, thanks ahead of time for the feedback, and don't forget, you can always send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way, and I will respond. It just might take me a little while to do so. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.